Good evening, everybody, and it's my pleasure as Director of the Center for the Humanities, I'm Rosi Braidotti, to welcome you to the first of the spectacular lecture series of the new academic year. A special welcome to our distinguished speaker, whom I will introduce in a few minutes. It is an enormous pleasure to be able to welcome back to this country, and also back to Utrecht, but really back for the first time in the center, one of the intellectuals and thinkers I admire the most, and if you're here today, I'm sure you will share this. Professor Etienne Balibar, Professor Emeritus at the absolutely legendary University of Paris Nanterre, and Distinguished Professor of the Humanities at the University of California at Irvine. A man whose books and whose intellectual itinerary has marked not one, but several generations. Professor Balibar graduated at the École Normale Supérieure de Sorbonne in Paris, and what you may not know is that he took his PhD in this country, from the University of Nijmegen, as well as an habilitation from the University of Paris. And in fact, I see the Nijmegen contingent over there, sort of waving their arm and things, with some of their guests. Who are they, Etienne? So it's really a return home to the alma mater, which is actually quite charming. As if this were not enough, I also did not know that Etienne Balibar spent 2 full academic years in this country, on the footsteps of a whole sort of history of French philosophers who spent most of their life in the Netherlands. He was 1 year in political theory at the University of Leiden back in the late 70s, and then a full year as a fellow at NIAS in 1993. So he's practically Dutch, let's face it, by this point as well. Etienne Balibar is one of the great social theorists and philosophers of the age. He hates this, but we have to do it. Anybody who has actually read Reading Capital, co-written with none other than Louis Althusser, way back in the 60s, but then, more recently, Race, Nation, Class, Ambiguous Identity with Immanuel Wallerstein, his work on Spinoza and Politics, Politics and the Other Scene, one of the most interesting political theory texts I certainly have ever read, the work on Europe and transnational citizenships, about which we will hear more tonight, as well as a number of important publications emerging from the Wellek lectures of 1996 on violence, on politics, essentially variations on the themes of citizenship. I think that one of the reasons why we wanted him back here was precisely to open up our horizons on notions of transnational citizenship, open and multi-layered subjectivity, at such a difficult time in our political history, where issues of populism and xenophobia are so rampant in our midst. And I think the fact that Professor Balibar knows the Dutch situation, knows this culture, is an added bonus in having him here tonight. It's the beginning of a series of reflections on citizenships, on transnationality, on Europe today, and it is a great honor to have him opening it for us. So please join me in welcoming back Etienne Balibar.